What's up, people? Yeah, that's my smoke. You can see I am smoking. So, well, first off, it is Thursday afternoon. I am just out for a walk in the smoke. You can see the dumpsters right there. I just got done digging through, unfortunately. I threw away my phone. Maybe that's a sign. But yeah, I accidentally tossed out my phone. I took a bunch of boxes out to be recycled. And I broke them all down except for one, like the big one, and put them all inside of it, to carry them. And I also brought a joint. And I just didn't have enough hands to carry my phone. I don't like to put it in my pocket. It's big, bulky, and I don't know about the radiation and stuff. So I stuck it in the box, man, that I was carrying on top of the boxes. And didn't think of it. When I got there, I just chucked the whole thing in the dumpster. Thankfully, it wasn't that hard to find. It was right on top. It was pretty much right there. But still, can't believe I did that. I threw out my phone. I haven't even finished paying for the damn thing yet. Throw it away. I don't know how long I got to pay for this thing. It feels like a long time. I think it's like 4 years or something. 3 or 4 years. I don't know. Interest free, though. I don't know if they still offer that, but when I bought this phone, it was a Google phone. When I bought it, they had a deal where they were interest free, if with good credit, obviously, if your credit passes. I'm not a big fan of paying interest, but I will take loans. I do take them, but especially interest free. I'll take interest free anytime. I'll take as much money as you want to lend me interest free, as a matter of fact. There's no interest at all. I'll take as much as I can get. Interest free. Free of interest. Weird things to think about, right? When you think that debt, which is something you'd pay interest on, right? A loan or a debt, is another word for sin. Debt, sin, right? And I'm thinking interest free. Like, if it kind of sound like if you had no interest, or maybe it's not interested in something in particular. I don't know. Interest free. It sounds kind of like curiosity, right? Like, it sounds like it really maybe relates to knowledge, to the tree of knowledge, to the apple, to, like, that's an interest, a curiosity. And of course, when you pay interest, you're in debt, which is considered a sin. And the apple was sin, right? Speaking of throwing out my phones, we even have Apple phones. I don't use one, an iPhone, but I've never been big on Apple. I've always kind of like, let's say I don't like hate them or anything. I just don't like it. It was off-putting to me since the very beginning, since early days. Even back in before smartphones, when it was, just desktop computers. I never liked what they were going for. Proprietary. Basically the exact same thing, too. Like, they're literally selling the same, like there was like a revolution happening in the world with computers, right? Personal computers, CPUs becoming smaller and fitting and being affordable, and you can actually have one in your house, right? Or used to take up a whole freaking room to have a computer. And it's not like they did something better or different, or, you know what I mean? They didn't like make some other technology that they like patented or something and like, we're gonna stay, go off on their own direction or try this way. They just literally use the same thing, but branded it. Like Apple is nothing but branding. There's no real difference in the product. It's branding. it's like it's like having a factory that makes shoes, and you literally make the exact same pair of shoes, like for them as for everybody else. No, they're kicking out these shoes, 10,000 pairs of them. We put this one brand name on it and this brand name, and now Apple orders 10,000 and puts Apple on them. But they're literally the same shoes as the other ones. And then they market it and gimmick it as the better, more affluent, more, if you don't have one of these, you're a dork kind of thing. And play off people's emotions and marketing and gimmicks and commercials to get people to think that I don't know. You know what I mean? It just seems like marketing. It's a gimmick. Apple to me has always been a gimmick. To me, it is the very epitome of kind of one of the things wrong with the world, is this commercialism, this sense of the people being able to be persuaded emotionally by those things like advertising and people they look up to, sports figures or celebrities in any way, anybody that's got, people look up to. They take what they say is taken to heart by a lot of people. When somebody that's got a lot of respect or a lot of fans or followers recommends something, people think that must be good because they recommend it, and kind of thing. But it doesn't really mean it is. You can pay for that. That's the problem, is you can just pay for that. And if you got enough money, you can just pay a whole bunch of celebrities to say that. And it doesn't mean it's their real honest opinion. They're just, they'll say it for the money. And it just doesn't, to me, it's a huge problem. That's a big part of what's wrong with capitalism, I guess, if you will. And I ain't saying to be a communist, that communism or something is better. I'm saying that maybe none of them are all that great, that maybe we haven't discovered or tried the best method yet. I mean, I'm not the biggest believer of the free market thing. I think the free market's only ever going to give us the lowest common denominator, right? If you take anything and in a free market, essentially buying things or spending your money is like a vote. It's like voting for what goes and what stays and what gets bigger and what fades away. In a way, it's voting. It is currency, and it's just like votes and volts. The words are related, a vote and a volt. And you think you do it at a polling station, right? Polling stations, they have those on power lines as well. You're going to put somebody in charge, in power, right? So it's very similar when you spend in your currency, you're voting for something. And I get that I think it is the most fair. If you give everybody an equal say, that's obviously, you can't dispute that that's the most fair thing. It doesn't mean it's going to be the best, though. Like I said, I think you'll get the lowest common denominator. That's what you'll get every time. You'll get the average. You'll get you see what I'm saying? You will. It's just a fact that not everybody is that really well informed or smart or aware, or they're just not, man. We are on different levels. A lot of us are in different places, man. We're on different levels of consciousness. And when you get the lowest common denominator, if you're above the curve, it feels like you're being held back and repressed. And if you're below it, it probably feels like you're being left behind. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem to me like it really gets us much. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the answer is. I've had ideas in my head. I've had thoughts about it. Like so at times I've thought way, from what we read about, I don't even know if these are true anymore. I really don't know if what is truth with history, because I'm just reading it from other people. I wasn't there, so I really can't claim any history as real, any kind of truth. I just have to believe it. But it seems like what our way of things is pretty new. The old way of things were rulers, like kings, queens, like it doesn't always sound so bad to me that maybe if there was just a ruling class of people that were worthy of it, that were, that actually wanted what was best for everybody, and were the best and brightest people for every type of genre or area of expertise that we need. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense to me to take the best of of everything to decide where that thing should go or be. You know what I mean? Like, even like we started with computers, man. Like, there are some really, really smart people in the world when it comes to computers, and could easily figure out the best way it should actually be done, which would make, like, you really just need, like, the best. We don't need all these, like, I don't know. And there still needs to be competition. I don't see why there wouldn't be. When the people that are making the decisions at the top of what is the best or the best way to do something are always striving for the best, if anybody invents or makes something better, that's what they're gonna choose. You just have to make some. The people would still seem to want to strive to compete, to be chosen as the best. To me anyway. But I could even see a world where you don't even need money at all. I think I could see a more natural possible world where we live like nature does, like animals and insects. And a lot of animals and insects have complex, social societies and structure. They don't need no money. People have roles and meaning, like they have purpose. Everybody has like a purpose, you know what I mean? I think that might be why we have the emotions that we have. I think these emotions were probably a tool to function together as a society. Things like ego and stuff like that. Like, when you get your ego, think about what ego would be like in a moneyless world, a world without any money at all. Think, what's your ego? How would that work now, right? Like, you would literally just be trying to impress people. But how could you? You couldn't impress people just by making money or having money or doing like evil things or dirty things, but that make a lot of money, because we know that's completely possible and happens a lot. I mean, you couldn't be looking for that, to stroke your ego with the fancy car and the big house, and the only way you're going to impress people is by genuinely bettering their lives or being a good person. You know what I mean? Or like inventing something. Like, that's how, there's no money, you still want to invent something that everybody's going to use and makes out, because then everybody's going to love you. Like, that's your ego. Like, you want that attention. We all crave attention. What if that was the true currency? Was attention, like our feelings, our desire to want to be loved, to want to be seen, to want to be, acknowledged, to be heard, wouldn't everybody still strive? Those are like ingrained things. You would still strive for them. And if that was the currency, it feels to me like our emotions are built for that. Like, we're built to function as like a species of, it's like we're the same, like brothers and sisters. Like when bees, if a bee dies in the hive, they let out a pheromone, all the rest come and got their back. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you're just a drone, the loneliest worker. Like, they're all the same. They've all got your back. Like they're all important. They're all protect each other. They're on the same side. How come this is humans, as species, how come we're not all on the same side? You know what I mean? Like us against the rest of the world, protecting us, versus the rest of it. Like, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. Oh man, that truck stunk. Oh, it's hard to breathe. It's diesel, but like a bad one. Oh. It's like closing up my throat. God, I hate being so sensitive to the chemicals and shit and pollutants in the air. It's very hard to be around the rest of society. It makes me feel like shit a lot, I tell you. Especially when your nose is clogged at night and stuff. Like, breathing through your fucking mouth, It's just not good. Headaches and feeling low energy. Oh, I can still smell it so strong. That was a really bad one. Like, they're usually not that bad. I get behind around diesel vehicles all the time. And it's like, yeah, it kind of sucks, but that shit is strong. It's carrying far and hanging. Like, he's like missing something, or something ain't right with that engine, man. Ugh. But yeah, I think there's possible. I think it's possible we were designed to not, because we are. We're designed to live without everything like that we made up, right? Like, like, money's not part of humans. Like, it's not like ingrained in us or something. Like, it's just something somebody thought up one day. It's not even really that. Money is just people bartered with each other. They would trade things. Here's what I grew or made, and I want some of what you can do, and trade. Money is just invented as a ledger. It was just a ledger to keep track of your barter when the guy didn't want what you had, but maybe you wanted what some other person had in the village or whatever later, and just a way to keep track. It's an IOU, that's all. And they're debt free. They were just IOUs. As far as I know, nobody was ever paying interest or nothing on those things if you didn't spend it or So money is just a way of bartering. But then there are parts of me too, that's why I say I don't have the answer. I'm just proposing thoughts and ideas that have come to me. But I also see the downfalls or the reasons why we have to do it how we do it, but maybe these wouldn't exist if that was the way. This is the other thought, but there's a lot of people that are just downright like evil in the world. You know what I mean? That just wouldn't do their part and stuff, wouldn't share, they would just take drain on other people, or even, steal and cheat and lie and all that kind of stuff. It kind of makes it so it's like you almost have to make a system in place, to prevent them from being able to do that. But then in a way, it's like taking away everybody's freedom then, right? At that point, to get that safety, to be safe from that, everybody has to kind of pay a price. I don't know how you get out of that situation. There's a thought that maybe it doesn't exist. Like, maybe people wouldn't behave that way in a world without money, in a different type of a world. That would be nice, right? It is a nice thought to have. You never know. It's possible. But I think you still have that stuff. Even without money, like I said, if the currency becomes like emotion, like satisfying like ego and want for connection or to be seen, or a lot of people would still probably lie and cheat and steal that stuff. Like, maybe if you had this greatest, brilliantest new invention or idea and told it to your best buddy or something, they still, you know, they might kill you and then steal it and take it just because they want all the attention. In other words, they want the money. You just transfer what money is, you know, now it's attention. So, yeah, I'm not saying, like, yeah, I really don't have the answers. I still see problems. The real answer is that everybody is good people. But is that possible? I don't know. It could be. It could. All right. Peace out, people.